And welcome to the Factor Uncensored. You've heard the name, but what does Title 42 exactly mean? If you listen to the experts, it will mean chaos beginning tomorrow at southern border states, including Texas. Title 42 will officially end then. It was a public health measure initially put in place by the Trump administration because of COVID-19. It allowed the U.S. to immediately expel migrants seeking asylum without their case being considered by U.S. immigration courts. As we said, tomorrow the policy will end. And now we hear thousands are waiting to get back in the queue to come to the United States to have their cases heard for asylum. Even some Democrats are saying the Biden administration, hell, they are not prepared for this onslaught. Let's talk about it tonight with guests Sylvia Mintz, Gordon Kwan, and Cesar Espinosa. So Sylvia, are you concerned about how the southern border will look, and will these individuals who are seeking asylum escape from countries that they may face violence in, that they will get a fair shake here in the United States?
Yes, of course I'm concerned because, you know, the changes to the asylum rule that is going to enter into effect on the 12th, that's going to affect many immigrants. And we have to remember that it's not only immigrants from Central America coming because their country is poor. There are many immigrants coming from Russia, from Afghanistan, from Venezuela, people that are escaping the violence and the oppression of their governments, which now they're going to come and face stricter rules for the asylum application.
And of course, Gordon, I saw yesterday a video where CBS News, I think, was out there. A lot of black people out there at the southern borders trying to get in as well. But, and I'll get to Cesar with this, but I mean, just a long list of people from different countries, different ethnicities trying to get into the United States.
Well, obviously, America's the favorite land for everybody. You also see a lot of Indians and Chinese, Russians, you name it. They're all coming, Isaiah. But what I wanted to follow up on what Sylvia said. So this is going to be a disaster, in my opinion, to tell you the truth. And the Biden administration is at the last minute trying to throw new rules in, which is actually going to make it more difficult, as Sylvia indicated. They're reestablishing this transit rule that the Trump administration had. This transit rule means that if you pass through another country, you must seek asylum there first before you come here. Under our asylum laws, it says that once you've found a safe haven, you can't just pick and choose, like, oh, you know, I think I want to go to Paris instead of coming to Mexico. You know, once you have safety, you're there, and if you're denied, then you can come and apply to the United States. So while we see all these people from all these different places, like you just mentioned, did they seek asylum as they transited to the southern border or not? And
the question is, how do they know that? You know,
exactly.
How would they know that?
And they just had the training today for their asylum officers and said, this is the new rule. We're going to put it in place for 42 months, and then we'll reevaluate it later. And they do not know that. It's a trap coming up there.
And there is another issue, the smugglers. The smugglers are really taking advantage of the people, really misinforming them, and because it's for their own benefit, right? So they are cashing in.
Money.
Yeah, they're cashing in on the most vulnerable, and that's the worst thing, because many people are confused. Some think that they can come in easier right now before tomorrow at 11:59, or other people think that it's going to be easier after tomorrow, and at the end it's a mess caused by the misinformation from the smugglers and some media.
And Cesar, there's another rule in place that if you come into the United States without the necessary paperwork, you will be banned for 5 years, and you can't even get in the queue or become a part of the process.
So I think part of, I mean, I agree with Sylvia, is that there's a lot of misinformation happening. But the other thing in that, and I do want to, I've been clarifying this for the last 72 hours, and since we started talking about Title 42, Title 42 wasn't meant to be a permanent fix. It was meant to be yet another patch in our broken immigration system. And the only way we're going to get a handle on this is, number one, by considering and coming to a compromise on comprehensive immigration reform, and number two, setting up the infrastructure for that to to happen. You can have all the rules in place. You can say we're not going to do this, or now we're going to do this, or now we're going to do that. But if there's no judges, if there's no technology, if there's not even cell phone service for you to now download this app that you have to apply to get into, none of this is going to work. So really, if people like Governor Abbott and other people want to criticize, they should put their money where their mouth is and encourage their peers to really push for comprehensive immigration reform.
Now, from the devil's advocate point of view, when is enough for America allowing individuals in? When can we say, okay, that's enough? And any of you can take
Well,
that
let me just
question.
say, Rice University did a study on that. And the fact that we need these immigrants, actually. As you know, Isaiah, there's a shortage of 10 million workers in this economy. The reason we have inflation is because the salaries for people are going up because they can't find enough workers. So there needs to be a reform, as Cesar talks about, comprehensive, looking at what the needs of our country are, how these people can fulfill those needs. There's a disconnect right now. We need people, these people want to work, but there's no way to do it seamlessly.
And we have to remember, this is a country of immigrants that is being built by immigrants, and that we all benefit, as Gordon say, of everybody who is coming to work and to many times do the work that many other people are not willing to do, and for wages that are way below what an American person will do. Of course, that's not good for the workers here in the United States because the wages go down. But I think that we need to find a connection in between the need for people to come and work and the needs of all of these people who are really escaping dangerous situations.
And Cesar, your boots on the ground, on the front lines. What will tomorrow look like here in Texas?
Tomorrow will look a lot of what it looked like today. But today I saw some disturbing images to me of there being barbed wire on the fence, people, being intercepted by the army, things like that. So it would definitely look a lot like it will today. I think that there's the same misinformation and misconception that people are just going to jump over the fence is going to disappear from night to day. It is just that, a myth, and really we need to fix this issue. We need to come together and talk about this and really come to a solution. And people, we can't have it two ways. We can't have people that are willing to work for next to nothing and at the same time benefit from that, and at the same time say we don't want them. And this country, unfortunately, has an epidemic and has had a bad history of slavery, of working under slave-like conditions for the benefits of some people, and we refuse to accept that.
All right. Thank you all for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. We appreciate your time tonight.